Hi, good morning. I was reading yesterday that we suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality. Actually, we have 60,000 thoughts every day that pass through our head. And yes, our whole life is lived in the 6 inches between our ears. Past, present, and future are the content of the 60,000 thoughts that pass through our mind every day. The past indicates fiction. The future indicates fiction. Those are two places that we cannot live. Those are two places we cannot affect. The only place we can live is now, here in the present. The only place we can love is now, here in the present. Buddha even said when he was on earth that you become what you think. And that's what I believe. These 60,000 thoughts a day. Think about when you get up in the morning, jump in the shower, feeling good. Just had a night's sleep, 100% energy in your body. Turn the shower on, it feels so good. And you start thinking about last week, the argument you had with your spouse or the problems that you're having at work right now and wondering if that's really the job that you want to continue in. And you think about the kids that are being kids, but just halfway driving you nuts. All last week, it seems like it was one thing after another. As these thoughts go through your mind, 20% of your energy goes down the drain in the shower. And then you start thinking about what's coming up. Oh, wow, I've got this meeting next week at work. I'm not prepared. What am I going to do? Golly, the drive to work is starting to be untenable. Tons of stress. My life next week looks like it's going to be a whirlwind. Guess what? Another 20% of your energy goes down the shower drain. So, as you get out of the shower, your 100% of energy is deducted from 60%. Basically, you've used 40% of your energy before you even get out of the shower. That's not a very good start, but isn't that the way we work? And then let's say we're driving to work now. Oh, what are you going to do as you drive to work? Well, you're going to daydream. Your mind's going to wander. It's going to wander on what happened, what might happen. It's going to be a little bit like it was in the shower. So when you get out of work, open your car door, another 20% of your energy is drained. Now, truly, 60% of your energy is gone, and you haven't even done anything at work yet. And isn't this the way most of us spend a lot of our day? Well, sure. 70%, they say, of illness is caused by stress. So this stress that continues with you throughout the day are like stressors. It continues to take your blood from your core and move it to your arms and your legs like it did many years ago when you were running from saber-toothed tigers. The tigers are gone, but the stressors are still in our life. Why? Because we let them in. And most of the stressors that come to us are from the past and looking into the future. Two areas of illusion, two areas of fiction that we cannot control. But our thoughts are just so powerful. Understand that your thoughts lead to your words. Your words lead to your actions. And actions that you repeat over and over become your habits. And your habits determine your character. And your character eventually determines your destiny. But everything begins with a thought. And you know, you've heard over the years, well, you're your own creator. You make your own life. What does that mean? Well, it means that your thoughts, what happens between those 6 inches between your ears, your thoughts are really what controls your lives. You really are the creator, but you have to control your thoughts. How do you control these troubling thoughts? I was listening to a friend of mine, Darrell, who is a medicine man for the Navajo Indians. And he said the Indians practiced over the years something called stop, pause, notice. So when you're having troubling thoughts, stop, pause, notice the thought, and if it's not a thought that is conducive to your happiness, permit the thought to go through. Release the thought. Don't push the thought out. Gently release the thought and replace it with a good thought. Now, this is something that's going to be, it's a habit. This does not come in a day. It doesn't come in a week. You have to practice, just like sports. It's just like studying, like learning. Everything that becomes a habit is because you practiced it. So at first, when you start seeing these thoughts come through and you say stop, pause, and notice, it's going to be a little vague. But the more you practice this method, what you will find out over the weeks and months is that when these troubling thoughts try to enter your mind, it's almost like they're scrambled. They don't seem to be able to come to fruition. They can't quite put themselves together because you're now in a habit of taking these troubling thoughts and putting them in neutral and then gently releasing them back into the universe and replacing it with a thought of something that feels good. This is practically the process of manifestation. We hear about that. Well, manifestation is really nothing more than thinking about something that you really desire and then seeing yourself having it and not insisting that you have it and not expecting that you have it, but trusting that you'll have it. You see, trusting is a very gentle word. When you try to get something accomplished, when you are going after something, the more you chase it, the more it seems to evade you. I like to think of the story of maybe the boy chasing the girl. And the more the boy chases the girl, the more the girl runs in the opposite direction. So many times, what you chase runs away from you. And at the same time, what you resist persists. Now, what does that mean? Well, look at all the wars in the world right now. And what you have is a lot of resistance and a lot of persistence. What you resist persists. So better not to fight something. Well, I'm going to fight that demon. I'm going to throw that demon out. Better to find some neutral ground and take some deep breaths and release the demon gently and replace the demon with a good thought. And you know, we've all heard from our mothers as we grew up, just take a deep breath. There's a lot of science into the deep breath. You see, when you take a breath in and hold it for 4 seconds, that 4 seconds you're holding the breath is very close to divinity. You know, when you stop breathing completely, you become the divine. You turn into a spirit. So when you breathe in and hold your breath, and then when you release your breath and hold it for another 4 seconds, that 4 seconds is very close to divinity. And I think it's close to God. The closer you get to holding your breath and stop breathing, the closer you get to God. But there's also something that goes on in your chemistry, in your body. As you take these deep breaths, your blood that has been sent to your arms and your legs during your stressor of a day where things just bother you all the time, this pumps the blood out of your core and pumps it into your extremities. Like once when you were a caveman running away from a saber-toothed tiger, you needed your energy in your arms and your legs, and that's where your energy went. And that's when you ran away from the saber-toothed tiger. But we don't have saber-toothed tigers anymore. But we have a lot of stress coming at us from every dimension you can think about. Like we talked about the shower and driving to work and even our day at work. Where is our mind? 70% of our day we daydream. 70% of our day is spent somewhere else. In an illusion. In the past, something that happened, something that might happen. It's illusion. 70% of our day is daydreaming. It means nothing. So we say, stay in the present, live in the moment. How many times have we heard that? Well, I gave you a quick way to get back in the moment and just keep trying it. You're going to find it works. So when the thoughts hit that are distressing or worrying or depressing, stop. Pause. Notice the thought. Gently let it go through and replace it with a good thought. You know, this is nothing more than meditation. Meditation is like the deep breathing we talked about. You take a breath in, you hold it, you release it for 6 seconds, 4 seconds, you hold it. This is a way to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. When you start the breathing exercise, it activates the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve activates the parasympathetic nervous system. I think of the parasympathetic nervous system, as a parachute. You gently come down from your stress and you settle in. When you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, you take the blood out of your extremities, your arms and your legs, and you send it back into your core. Your core is where your vital organs are, where your trillions of cells live and grow. These cells need the blood in your core, not in your arms and legs, where the stressors tend to send you 70% of each and every day. So the secret is to go within. How do you go within? When you're troubled, you stop, you pause, you notice your thought, and you change your thought into a better thought. This does so many things. Not only does it take the stress out of your day, when you go to bed at night, you're not completely worn out and saying, "Oh, I'm dead tired." You're tired, you're ready to go to bed, but you're not all beat up. So by using this method of stop, pause, and notice, the stressors are learning to leave your body, and they don't come back after a while because there's just no place for them. Your mind has come down to your heart, and now you're starting to live by feeling and not thinking. See, those 6 inches between your head, 6 inches between your ears, that is, can really get you in trouble. That's where everything starts, and you can control it by just simply being aware of what you're thinking about. And when it gets troubling, what do? You stop, you pause, you notice, and you change your thoughts. If you've ever heard somebody say, "Oh, I'm just sick and tired," that's exactly what they are. They're sick and tired from the illusions that have been playing in their head for all these years. We've had many years to develop these habits, which develop our character, which determine our destiny. I'm 77 years old. It's not gonna change in a day or a week or a month, but it will change if I start paying attention to what I'm thinking about. You are what you think, you become what you think, as what the Buddha said. And there is a way when you get to the point of thinking about the past, the present, and the future, naturally you want to stay in the present. That's the only place you can live and the only place you can love. But we do have a gift that God gave us. And when you look into the future, you can actually visualize something. This is kind of like the manifestation I talked about. You can visualize what you desire in life, the stations in life that you'd like to be, how you feel and how it looks when you're living the life you want to live. Your mind is not going to tell you, "Oh, that's just a dream," or "That's fictitious." Your mind will go in the direction of your dominant thoughts. If your dominant thoughts are showing you great things about you and your life and your family, that's the direction your life will go. That's the way it works. And we're about out of time right now. We're going to be doing many of these sessions along the way. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I call the series, "Don't Worry, Be Happier." And I hope this made you a little happier. Have a great day.